Anyway, hi, how's it going, guys? Today's video is gonna be about me talking about the monsters I want to come back from World into Monster Hunter Rise. Okay, so this one's weird, because I was gonna do 5 monsters, because I expect just to want only 5 monsters to go into Rise. I looked at the list of monsters that are only in, like, you know, starting World, and were just originally from World. I want more than 5, so I'm just gonna make more videos next week, another video for, like, next week. And then I'll make some video about monsters that I don't want coming back from Rise. I mean, coming back from World to Rise. And I'll give my reasonings. The mainly just because I think they're shit monsters. But let's talk about the ones I do want. Also, this is 5 monsters, and they're not necessarily in any order. For example, the first monster is my favorite one from World, and yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I wanted them all on Rise. Let's go. First one, Autogran. Look at him. Just fucking look at him. I love Autogran. He's a fast-paced monster. Keeps you on your feet when you first start fighting him. He's fucking a psychotic motherfucker. He doesn't give a fuck. He tries to take on Bahazak, which is ridiculous. And he's just a balls-to-the-walls monster who's just fun to fight, honestly, for me at least. And I just love his design. His armors are always a treat to look at. His weapons are usually pretty good. And he's just a good all-around monster, and I love seeing him in fights. He's also a hyper-aggressive motherfucker, so he'll fight anything in the game. So I would love to see that kind of come over to, like, Rise from World. Just a super hyper-aggressive, like, cat, dog, weasel thing fucking everyone's shit up. Like, come on, yeah, I want that in my game. Fuck. Next one, Dotagama. Okay. Dotagama and the monster after this, I kind of want them in the game for the memes. I'm not gonna lie to you. Dotagama's current meme in the Monster Hunter World community is, if you see Dotagama, you leave him be. Because he never bothers you if you don't bother him. And personally, I love that. I just love having a chill-ass monster. I love having chill monsters that just don't even attack you. They just want to hang out. He just wants to eat lava and just be left alone. And I like him. I don't know. I like him better than Great Jaggers, because, you know, they're basically around the same, they have, like, the same physical model in a way. They kind of seem a little bit related to each other because of the, you know, body type, but, like, I just like them better than Great Jaggers, honestly. And plus, we already have, like, the Great Jaggers looking type of monster already in Rise, so, you know, Great Jaggers probably one of those monsters I don't want coming back from World. But Dotagama is, like, he's just cool. He's also very potentially dangerous. He can go from, like, 1 to 100. Because he can either be the chillest fucking dude, or he's gonna be spewing fucking lava at you, which does massive damage, depending on what level of like, hunter rank you're at, which is terrifying, because he can one-shot you sometimes, especially if he's fucking tempered. And, like, he even fucks with, like, other monsters, for the most part. And he's, I don't know about you guys, but every time I see a Dotagama in the wild, like, he doesn't care if it's a Devil Joe coming after him. He spews fucking lava at him. He don't give a fuck. And it's like, I like Dotagama. I like his I like what he brings to the table. I like his zestiness, his fucking, just his need to fight back, even though he has absolutely no fucking chance. And I just love him. I just like him. He's a good character. He's fun. I would love to see him in World. I mean, Rise. I'm gonna be fucking up Rise and World a lot in this video. But he's just chill, fun, and a lot of times I usually use him in a way to damage the other monsters. If you see him spewing lava, just in between monsters' legs, he'll just do massive damage for just dick all. I don't know, he just does it. He's pretty fun. Next one is Kuliaku. Alright. There's a story I have to tell you before I, like, really, so you guys, like, understand why I want Kuliaku in this game. Kuliaku is the fucking cradle robber of this fucking game. He literally just steals other monsters' baby eggs and, like, eats them because he's a piece of shit. So, I don't know if any of you have had this experience when you're fighting a Raytheon, but if she sees Kuliaku, she will disengage from you completely and just strictly go after Kuliaku. When I fight Raytheon, every time I see a Kuliaku, she only attacks him. She doesn't give a fuck about me anymore. Even if I'm hunting and trying to kill, if I cut her tail off, she doesn't care. Like, every time she sees a Kuliaku, she just goes after, just guns for him. And it's fucking hilarious. And Kuliaku has, like, a lot of different, like, interactions with other monsters. I've seen a Kuliaku go up to a fucking Diablos, and just take his rock and smack him in the head. And just break his fucking horn. It's the fucking funniest thing. And then he just fucks off. He just runs away. Like, there's a point where me and my friends were playing, and Kuliaku walks up to a downed Diablos and just starts fucking smacking him with the rock. He just runs off. He just leaves for no fucking reason. He doesn't even attack us. He just goes up to the Diablos. And like those kind of interactions in games, I need to see more of those in Rise, honestly. Just having monsters having particular like relationships with each other, I love that. I just love that shit. Not just like in the end of world, I mean, the end of Iceborne, which I'm gonna go on a tangent. In the end of Iceborne, it just feels like monsters see each other. They have their little scuffle turf war thing, and they just fuck off from each other. I hate that. In the beginning of world, when I first started playing, Kuliaku felt like he had like a legit relationship with like 2 or 3 of the monsters in the desert level. And like literally every time, Raytheon would go after him, or he would try to get a cheeky hit on Diablos and just run away. Every single time. It was always something really interesting, and it wasn't like a set piece like turf war thing. It was just something he just does, and it's really interesting, and I want to see more of that. And that's why I want Kuliaku back in Rise, because he's just fucking hilarious. Next one is Toby Katachi, the snake squirrel. Anyway, snake squirrel. Basically same reasons same reason as Autogran. He's fast. He's fun. He really introduces the player to the first real fast monster in the game, at least in the world. And he just gives you a good sense of like, all right, so I have to stay on my toes now. I actually have to care. I have to actually like worry about getting smacked around. And I love fast monsters, like I said before, Autogran. So having Toby Katachi back is just a no-brainer for me. I wouldn't mind if they added a different, like a more upgraded version of Toby Katachi. Not just like his variant thing in Iceborne, but like just a bigger, more evolved dad version of him. That'd be cool too. I would love to see that in Rise. But I just like Toby Katachi. He's just fun. He's interesting. I find it weird that his weak spot's in his tail, but I do miss more of that in different Monster Hunter games, because near the end of near the end of Iceborne, most of the monsters' weak spots were their head, and he was one of the monsters at the very beginning who just had his weak spot, his heart, organs, and everything in his tail. So I want to see more of that come back in Rise, and Katachi is just fun. His weapons are also pretty decent. Like, they're good for early game. But they also look pretty good, too. Unless they're the shitty bone versions. Then they don't. At all. But his armors also look pretty good. Just genuinely good. They're just, all of his stuff is, like, very good for beginner stuff. And it gets you through the game. If you actually build it, it's pretty good. Or well, at least early game. He's also interesting because he climbs over walls, he parkours, he rubs his body up against the walls, and he's just like, ha! I have shock now! Ha-ha! And it's really cool because it's not, like, naturally like in his body electricity. It's just mostly static electricity. So he's got like the weakest but lore wise, he's probably got the weakest electricity in the game, I believe, just because it's mostly just actually static. And finally, Anjanath. I just love me some T-Rexes, honestly. And Anjanath is a really interesting monster, because I know he's got to be coming back in Rise. I almost like 100% guarantee he's gonna be back in Rise. He's already coming back in Stories. But like Anjanath is interesting because he's technically it's a brute wyvern that might have been a flying wyvern, I think. I'm not sure. Like the lore is weird about him because I looked up a bunch of stuff about him, and from like what I keep seeing is that he might have had wings before. That's what the whole weird flap things to help release the heat in his body. But apparently he might have also had wings before, and if it just evolved to just being a brute wyvern, I don't fucking know. Monster lore is weird. But he's interesting because he just throws himself around. He just doesn't give a fuck. He's a really, like, fun fight. He's straight up brute wyvern. He's one of the first brute wyverns you fight in, or wyvern, or whatever people want to call it, in Rise, in World. And I want to see his brutality come back in Rise, and I want to see him throw people around, and I want to see him just shoot fire blasts at people. Because, like, I think for some people, the Anjanath was really, like, a first big wall because you saw how hard he hit early game. And now he's just constant because he doesn't care. He just grinded his face across the floor, just give no fucks. And his fire blasts are pretty scary too, at least for beginner players. I remember when I was playing with Norberto, he kept dying to his fire blast, which was hilarious, but also annoying. But yeah, I also like his armor too. Like all the monsters on this list pretty much like all their armor. All their armors are pretty cool. So that's a big thing for me. And just Anjanath in general. I don't like the negative affinity on most weapons, but Anjanath is for the most part like for early game. They're pretty good for like raw damage and stuff like that. But I also just like I like T-Rexes. Like I love it, and I want to see. I kind of wish there was like a fucking kind of turf war between Devil Joe and Anjanath. They kind of just, I don't think they have anything, do they? I've never seen it, so let me know if there is one. I don't think there is, but yeah. Those are my monsters that I want to see come back in Rise. If you have any questions and, you know, want to talk about the monsters you want to see back in Rise, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to make another video for next week talking about more monsters I want to see in Rise. And after that, I'm going to make videos talking about things I don't want to see in Rise. Also, stay tuned because the demo for Monsters of the Rise is coming out, I believe, in the 7th. So I will be live streaming that shit to YouTube and Twitch. Please, if you want to see content of this, follow us on YouTube or Twitch, because I'm going to be fucking playing that shit like crazy. I'm going to put up content about it too, so get ready, because I'm going to be recording a lot of it just to have as a background footage, because I'm so excited. But yeah, we have a TikTok, we have an Instagram, we have all that stuff down in the description down below. And we live stream on YouTube Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 1 p.m. EST, at the same time as we stream on Twitch. But on Twitch, we stream on weekends sometimes too. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See ya. Bye.